Hi, everybody. Welcome to Triangle BNI, brought to you by Oak City Tech, which powers your goals with proven technologies for increasing traffic, leads, and sales. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning. We're glad to have you back on Triangle BNI. Each week, we bring you a small business success story from BNI. If you are not familiar with BNI, it's Business Networking International, the world's largest networking organization. Our little slice of heaven here in the Triangle, if you're not familiar with North Carolina, is Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. We have 30 chapters going strong each week. There are 6 core groups that are meeting, trying to get to full chapter status, and almost 600 people each week who get together, and we help each other start and grow their small businesses. Our guest this week is Cherie Brown. Cherie is the assistant branch manager at SouthState Bank on Falls and New. Cherie, good to have you here today.
You.
So you are new to Raleigh. SouthState Bank is new to Raleigh. So
Yes.
what are you learning? You've been here. I've got you since April, correct?
We opened our first branch in March,
Mhm.
actually. Um, but I have physically been here since November.
Okay.
Moved here in November from Myrtle Beach.
A little change
And
there. Yeah, a little different, right?
a lot different in a very good way, a
Mhm.
good way. But I'm learning that the market is the completely opposite end of the spectrum from what I'm used to
Yeah.
in Myrtle. Definitely a different dynamic in Raleigh. So it's been fun. It's been an experience. Um, Business is done different here, so I'm getting used to
All
it.
right, we will get into that. Most people that move to Raleigh, I tell them it's kind of easy to get around. There's a grid system, so obviously you have the belt line in a circle, but then Six Forks and Falls, and all those roads are this way. So, and most people get around okay. There are a couple of roads that mess me up, but all in all, you're getting around okay.
I guess so. I'm still using my GPS
Yeah,
to get
okay,
everywhere I
that's
go.
fine. Were you used to the traffic when you moved up here? Because moving from Myrtle Beach, there was probably just seasonal traffic, right?
Seasonal traffic, and we don't have as many different routes
Yeah.
to get from A to B. So there was some traffic in some areas, but there was always a way to avoid that. In Raleigh, there is not. So no, I was not used to the traffic.
Just stay off the
But
belt line at 5 o'clock. You'll know that. But the locals in Myrtle Beach, though, you knew what in the summertime, you knew what to go around and where not to be, right?
exactly.
Okay.
And I'm still getting used to that here. I don't think there is a place you can go to get around
No,
here,
no, there's not.
you know.
They've not. They'll have to be another 540, I guess. I don't know what they'll call it, but there'll be another outer belt line and this,
Yeah.
that, and the other. So, what do you miss most about the beach?
The beach, the beach, being able to go on vacation anytime I want to,
Yeah.
and not really have to pay for a really expensive hotel or fight my way through the
Hmm.
traffic.
Yep.
So I miss the beach, but I have to say I love Raleigh.
Well, good. We are glad to have you here. It's Silicon Valley, kind of the East, because a lot of I've heard numerous descriptions of there's Silicon Valley, and then there's Austin, Texas, and then there's the Triangle with RTP and everything. That there are many of this and kind of like that, but with all the companies here, I know banks are a lot of people are moving here for a number of reasons.
Yeah, I found out when I came that it was one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S.
Mhm.
Um, somewhere in the realm of 65 to 70 people are moving into Wake County every single day.
Oh yeah,
So for business, that's a booming rate. So there's a lot of growth capacity. So
yep. It
we're
is.
living it.
And a friend of ours, friend of the show, Trinity Greger, is a realtor with Hunter Row. She's very happy about 70 people moving in a day. So we're happy to,
Yes.
she's got a lot of things to pay for, getting married and all that,
Yeah.
but we can talk about that later with her. So Cherie is with, with the South State Bank. She is in RD 18 Connections in Motion. That's a chapter I'm in as well. We meet Thursdays at noon at Red Hot and Blue on Falls. So we'd love for you to come out and visit one day. Food is good. Location's easy to find. And the neat thing is your bank is just right across the parking lot, isn't it?
Right across the parking lot. We love that.
Was that one of the reasons why you chose our chapter?
Well, I mean, of course.
Perfect.
Red hot and blue,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
love the food there.
who doesn't love North Carolina barbecue?
That is correct. Here we are. And by the way, folks, thank you for listening. This is our 1 year anniversary for the show. We appreciate all the support and all the people watching and listening. We thank you very much for that. We're having a blast here. So we're July 8th. How's business going now that you're in the market? You're coming up on 6 months or so, 7 months, 8, I guess math, 8 months in the market. How's business going for South State?
It's growing at an exponential rate. So we really have we've seen a lot of growth. Our volume and our traffic flow has grown by leaps and bounds every single month. We've consistently had a lot of growth. So we are really excited about that and excited about continuing to
Mhm.
grow.
And I believe you folks announced a second location.
We have. So our second location is set to open off Glenwood and Crabtree in early September.
Whereabouts? Which side of the intersection?
Um, Little new to the area,
The mall
but
the mall
it,
side or
yeah,
the hotel side?
yes, it's right behind the Capitol building.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like the old Capitol building is, and it's under construction, so
Yep.
you're likely to drive by and see some renovations, and that's us.
Very nice. Will you stay at the location on Falls?
I will for now, yes.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah,
But you'll eventually get promoted to branch manager, regional manager, all the big stuff, and you'll forget about
president,
us. You'll forget about us.
yeah,
It's so
vice president.
folks get used to seeing Cherie on this because once she gets a title on a big name, it's like she'll be traveling. I'll never be able to book her again. So
Yeah, you better take advantage.
we'll play this over and over again. Yeah, we'll get that.
Right.
We've had discussions a lot. One of the common themes on the show here, especially through BNI, is having a local contact. And you and I have had this discussion about not knocking any of the big banks, but sometimes it's difficult to call and you have to punch in your 16-digit code and you get somebody, they could be in Topeka, Kansas, which I'm sure is a wonderful place to live, but they don't know me and I'm not a priority for them.
Right.
And with the influx of smaller banks coming to a town like this, you guys have more people are coming to you guys than going to the big banks, I assume, correct?
Definitely. I think that there's still a need for people to go into an institution and know who they're talking
Mhm.
to. I think that we've lost the vision has somewhat gotten misconstrued that there's no need for that with all the digital um, banking that's happening
Yeah.
now. But people still want to know who's handling their finances and who's handling their money. So that is your advantage being in a community bank.
And I like it. In full disclosure, you are my business banker for all the stuff I have going on that's gonna be just putting commas and zeros in your bank here in the next year and a half. I'm looking forward to that very
Yeah,
much.
you're a
But,
favorite.
thank you very much for that answer. But I do like it because I have your phone number. I know I can call you if there's any problems instead of calling I don't even know my 16-digit account when I first banked at
Yeah.
some of these bigger banks. So that's the beauty of just a local anything, and I know you guys are benefiting from that when people coming in just because they know when they walk in, your office is on the left, and they can sit down and talk to you.
Yeah. Uh, for me personally, I think that one thing I love about my job is that the bank supports the vision of doing business with people and having relationships with the people that you take care of. So, we advocate for that.
Mhm,
Call us, reach out to us personally with anything that you need, because hopefully we have some connections
mhm.
in our community and some roots in our community that we can kind of direct you and help you in all different areas.
And even as big as Raleigh is and with the growth, we're still a community. It's still a small group of people that you can tap into, so
Right.
I know you like that a lot.
Love it.
If you've never been to a BNI chapter, we'd love for you to come visit. If you'll go to trianglebni.com, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a button that says Find a Chapter. You'll click on that and scroll down. It will allow you to do a search, and we just want you to go visit a chapter. Everybody every week is there to help each other grow their business. Some people are starting, some people are in growth mode. Some come from, I've had my own business. Cherie works for a company that's a little bigger than my company. So there's all kinds of people there at each meeting. So we'd love for you to come visit. Each week at a chapter meeting, there is a featured speaker. And depending on the size of the chapter, you get 5, 6, or 10 minutes. In our chapter, we get 10 minutes. Each speaker is introduced by the member bio sheet. So, Cherie, this is how we do it here as well.
Okay.
Our speaker today, Cherie Brown, Assistant Branch Manager at South State Bank on Falls and Neuse. Profession is local banking. Gonna say that. Years in business, the branch opened when? In March?
Our branch opened in March
Okay. And that was the first branch in Raleigh.
in Raleigh.
First branch in North Carolina?
No, one of our largest markets is Charlotte. So we have been established
Okay.
in North Carolina for a good while.
Okay. And I know we're gonna get into the bank history. I know the bank opened in 1934, so we'll kinda talk about the growth on that. Previous types of jobs now, let me always stop people here because I have your work history. You're not old enough to have a long list of work history, but I don't want those jobs because I got those jobs. I want that high school job. I want that just out of high school job that was memorable because it was so much fun or just blatantly uncomfortable.
Okay, well, that's about my work history. I've been with the bank for a while. So, um, I worked at Subway through high school, out of high school um, into, um, I guess, banking.
Mhm.
Which was great because I never had to work in that fast food industry with all the grease and everything, so I'm gonna say, like, I'm those lucky few. Subway's clean as far as my experience goes, so I would still eat there to this day, so I'm
Okay.
happy, proud to say, but also, I've done makeup for a really long time.
Mhm.
So I do some freelancing on that side. I did some commercial makeup, worked in the commercial makeup industry, and did some behind the scenes, set scene type stuff, and, some special effects, sci-fi, fun stuff like that.
Would we recognize, any of the shows or movies you worked on? Or people?
Maybe, yeah, I did a little bit off of,
You can humble
Charleston,
brag
One Tree
here.
Hill. I
Oh,
did
you
One
did?
Tree Hill, but I just worked on some, like, fast act, like, extras and, did a little bit with some Pirates of the Caribbean, like, some training, but I didn't get to actually be a feature artist there, so, but that's cool. Got to teach them a little bit about latex and stuff like that.
How'd you get into that?
So my mother was a makeup artist, so, she kind of hand taught us as I have, 3 sisters, and all of us are in that industry somewhat. My sister actually works for a cosmetic brand. My older sister, does wedding,
Okay.
makeup, so it's just I think it's a in the genetics. It's a
Any
family type
Yeah.
profession.
Anytime I hear 3 or more daughters in a family, I just think of the parents having to pay for 3 weddings. College is the weddings are college is a piece of cake compared to the weddings for 3 and, oh,
We gotta work on the
I feel for your
we got
parents, yeah.
we gotta work on getting the person for the wedding first. But
You've not met him yet,
no,
which is fine.
but, yeah, we have I have a younger brother, he's the youngest and the last, uh, and so I'm sure he's living his
Mm.
dreams with 4 older
Oh,
sisters.
tell me you didn't dress him up growing up.
Oh, we beat him
Oh, yeah, the poor kid. He's
I
tough though
know.
now, isn't he?
Now
Yeah.
he is larger than all of us and
Yeah.
quite more, much more tough, and he lets us know it,
Oh, yeah.
but he
Yeah.
also lets anybody else know it that, we're his sisters.
Yeah,
Don't mess.
no.
Yeah.
Was he wearing makeup at a young age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
jeez.
was, and we plucked his eyebrows and all that stuff. Poor thing.
Are there pictures of this?
I'm sure he probably wouldn't let those come to light
No,
ever.
I'm not worried. I know he doesn't have any of 'em.
He has his hands are on them, I
Okay, all
guarantee.
right. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. If you could do makeup for any celebrity today, who would it be?
Oh, that is such a good question. Um, I would say maybe like a Kardashian or something like that,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
they cake it
You can
on.
say it here. Yeah. You can say it here.
They cake it
You're
on
not
anyway, and I
surprising
wanna get
anybody.
in there.
Okay.
And, you know,
Does it take longer to put it on or take it off, with that much makeup on?
that's a
Yeah.
good question.
Oh, boy. Yeah,
Probably
I know.
actually,
Just
equal.
chisel it off.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, how many bases there are.
scrape it
Yeah.
off, yeah.
The next part of the bio sheet, family information, not married,
Mm-mm.
3 sisters, 1 brother.
Mhm.
Where do they live?
And actually I have 2 brothers at this
Okay.
point because, my dad got married again, and I
Okay.
have a stepbrother, which is like, my brother, but, I have a brother in Ohio, and then the rest of them are back in Myrtle,
Okay.
and my, mom and, stepdad are in, Columbia.
Okay.
South Carolina.
So you know where. So when you go see him, you can just go through Columbia, say hi on your way to the beach, right?
Yeah, well,
Spend more
she doesn't
time at
let
the
me do
beach.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, "You're staying here."
You have a couple of pets.
I do.
Yes.
I have 2
Do tell.
dogs,
All right.
Gideon and Sebastian. They are Yorkie and a Maltese, little babies. Love them. Like,
Do you put them in
love
a
them.
purse and go to lunch by yourself? Will they both fit in a purse?
Yes,
Okay.
they would fit it, but I'm not that. I don't
Okay.
do that.
Good. Let's
I'm
not
not
go
that
there. Yeah.
fancy. Yeah.
How did you come up with their names?
Um, I don't know. Honestly, I think someone probably suggested it, and I was like, "Yeah,
Okay.
I like that. Different."
Mhm.
Um, you know, I'll keep it different. They're like little brats.
Do they
So,
get along?
yes, they are obsessed with each other.
Okay.
2
Well, that
boys
helps. Yeah.
obsessed with each other. Can't go anywhere without each other at all.
Too funny.
But,
Your hobbies and activities of interest.
um, well, when I have time,
Mhm.
I like outdoor things. Like, I love being on the water, but I'm not getting in it. I like boating, kayaking, canoeing, tubing, as long as I don't fall off because I'm
Mhm.
not getting in that water.
Save your
Um,
beer though when you tip over. You see people go
yeah,
underwater, but the beer
they
can's
have
above. Yep.
contraptions for that now,
They do.
but,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so I like to be, outside and, really kind of enjoying those type of camping.
One of the notes I wrote down on you was hammocking.
Hammocking, yes,
Now,
I
is that
love
making or
that.
enjoying?
Not making, oh,
Okay. I
no.
didn't think so,
No
but,
one would survive in a hammock I made.
okay. All right.
But I like the peaceful
Mhm.
side of just relaxing outside. I mean, right now it's a little too hot. Like, I'm,
Yeah.
not gonna swing around on a hammock right now in 128-degree weather.
Yes. Every now and then, I think it happened, was it yesterday, Saturday? And when the front blows through, generally the temperature will drop 10, 15, 20 degrees sometimes, and then it's actually nice to sit outside. But until then,
Yeah,
it's yeah. I got in the car yesterday at 1:15 and said 100 degrees. Okay.
I believe it.
Flip on the AC real fast. City of residence, Raleigh since November,
Mhm.
right? Your burning desire is to what?
Oh, oh my. My burning desire. Um I think it's just to, like, live passionately about everything I do. I
Mhm.
think be successful in career and, happy in life and, you know, build good relationships that last and just, kinda like, take something with you when you
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Now, the people watching and listening are getting to know you. They don't know you as well as they will by the end of the show, but tell us something that we don't know about you that we haven't talked about yet.
um, something you don't know. Okay, so, I'm in banking, but actually, as a matter of fact, I went to school for forensic pathology. So, I majored in chemistry and minored in criminology. So, really, I have, I guess, a very wide spectrum personality, finance, makeup, and science. So,
Do you watch all the crime shows?
yes,
You love
obsessively,
my wife loves the cold case shows, just the whodunit and how they go back
all of
and
it.
do that. Well, you could do the makeup on the dead people, the fake dead people, all of that.
So, like, I'm not doing that,
Okay, all right.
like, that's
Draw
weird.
the
That
line. Okay.
there has to be a line. That's it. That's mine.
Well, you could
No,
do the makeup of the actor who's playing the dead person that's gonna lay there and be dead
I'll
for the
do
show. You
that.
could do that. Okay.
I'll
All
do
right.
that.
Good. We'll work on
Different
that.
spectrum, like,
I like
don't
that.
take it that
I
far.
like that. We are here with Cherie Brown, assistant branch manager at South State Bank over on Falls. I'd like to welcome our title sponsor for the show, Oak City Tech. They power your goals with proven technologies for increasing traffic, leads, and sales. They will help you grow your business. Give Drago a call. You can go to oakcitytechnology.com, talk to Drago. He will make you look good because he is helping me look better than I deserve. And so I want you to give him a call and he can help you with that. Hartsville, South Carolina, Coker College,
Mhm.
small, teeny tiny town.
Small, teeny, tiny town, 1,000 students in the whole school. Um,
What was the draw for to go to school there?
I just wanted to go to a, very small, intimate school
Mhm.
because I knew that I was gonna need, more attention, I'd say, like, I needed to pay attention, and I wanted a little smaller classes,
Yeah.
So that was, I guess, the motivating factor. Plus, I went for free, so that there's your
Mom and dad like that, yeah.
answer right there.
Nice.
That's
Did that
why.
make you the favorite child at the time?
That's always kinda, I like to claim that
Yeah.
anyway,
It'd be
but
rude
I'd
to
say, yeah,
tell the other ones that you are, but they probably
it
know that, right?
helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
I do in the research I do for the show, I just Google the guest's name and just see what pops up, and there were no records that came up. But I did go to Coker College and typed in notable alums, and your picture will be up there one day. It's not there currently,
Ye
but I know it will be when your career is over done with. And one of the notable alums for Coker is the lady that started UNC Charlotte. Yeah,
Really?
didn't
That's
know that. So, yeah.
interesting.
And then some people in the arts that I'd never heard of only because I'm not in the arts and no
That's
style.
pretty
So I don't do that.
interesting,
So, yeah.
yeah. Well, do you know that Oprah's, boyfriend,
Stedman? Yeah.
Stedman is a professor
Really?
there? Yeah, well, he was, at that time anyway, but he did come and teach classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was always a big deal.
Did you see any Oprah sighting?
No, but as far as I know, she did travel with him from time to
Okay.
time, so that's pretty interesting.
Was he teaching when you were in school there?
Yes, but it's not like he was there all the time.
Oh,
So I
okay.
don't know if it was
Like a
just
visiting
ge
professor or
yeah,
something? Okay. What
something like
classes?
that. I don't know.
Okay.
I remember it being this huge thing. I think I try to stay out of it because I try not to give it too
You
much
don't like
attention,
attention. Yeah. You're
so
not,
I was
yeah.
like, "Who cares?" But it is actually pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not one we've known each other a little while, but you're not one to walk towards the bright lights and the microphones and all that
No.
stuff. Yeah, you're
I like to slide under the
yeah,
radar.
I'll be over here. You just when you
Yeah.
guys are done playing, you come
Call
over
me if
here.
you need me kinda thing.
One of the neat stories for you that I've learned is you lived in Mexico for about a year.
Mhm.
How did that come about?
Well, a friend from college had a, home there with his family, and I had taken 6 years of Spanish in, well, not 6 years, 6, classes of Spanish in high school. So, I had, I guess, a good base of Spanish, and he knew that, so he just asked if I wanted to go. His family was going back home to their house to, take care of their farm. They also had a
Mm,
home in Texas, and so they were going back to their home in Mexico, and I just went with them and decided, "Okay, I mean, yeah, let's do it."
how old were you?
Uh, 18,
Okay.
17,
Mm.
you know.
Are we very fluent?
I mean, we were.
Okay.
When I came back to the US, I kinda just like I said, I wasn't one to step out into the limelight like, "Yeah, pick me,
Yeah.
I'll do it," but, so you forget if you don't practice a
Mhm.
lot, but yes, I mean, I can conversate.
Are you the go-to person at the bank or on the
Yes.
phone when some translation needs to be done?
Yes, in my area, but we do have some we have a diverse,
Mhm. You do,
group
yeah.
of
When I was in there a couple weeks ago, yes.
yeah, and especially to across the bank, so we always like to accommodate for all languages, and so if for any reason a branch doesn't have someone in their office, we can make it
Yeah,
happen, but, um, in my location,
yeah.
yes, it's me.
My oldest son, I think I'm not gonna ask how old you are, but I think you 2 are roughly the same age. He did, a lot of Spanish in high school. He has forgotten some of them. He is very fluent when he is drinking. That's when it comes out. We went on a family cruise. My in-laws were celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary, so this would have been about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and we did a cruise and just had a blast, and we went to this place, in was it Cancun? I forget where the ship docked, and for a whole day, it was, all inclusive. The food, the drinks, everything is a little tiny resort, and it was, awesome. This guy, every time we turned around, he had drinks, another tray of drinks for us. We have no idea how much we drank, but the more he drank, the more fluid he got, or it came back. It was
Yeah,
really
right.
funny. So we laugh now. If you need, a translator, just get Travis starting to drink, and it all comes back. So I don't know if that'll work
You're
for
not
you.
afraid
No, no,
anymore
no.
kinda
He's
thing.
no, no, no. He's good on that. One of the neat stories also with you, you told me this story because we're talking about interesting customers,
Mhm.
and it was about what a month or two where you guys went live on Facebook or Instagram for the bank. Yeah, and you met some interesting people. I think we can leave it at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we did go live. We went, Instagram
Mhm.
live, did some, walk through the bank with us, get to know us, kind of take you through our day. Um, and yes, we had some interesting comments,
Mhm.
on our posts and some really interesting customers, and non-customers that decided to, um, take advantage of visiting our location.
Social
But
media can be,
yeah.
yeah, you can meet some people that way.
I guess I can say it did create some, interest and some publicity. So, you know,
Do you now have security at the bank because of
I
that?
mean, we're gonna try it. Try coming,
Oh my. Yeah, that can, but it probably worked because you got the new branch, you're new to the triangle and just getting word out there.
Yeah, and I think people are interested. We bring a different dynamic to the market than other
Mhm.
places, and we also really take advantage of, social media and being local. We also feature, local bankers, truly, people
Mhm.
that are in that area and in that community. So, um, I think it's like walk you walk what you talk.
Mhm.
Um, and so I think people like it, and then it creates the buzz because we are promoting on our social networks.
You have to,
Um,
yeah, especially to reach your crowd. My crowd, not so much. That's not the
yeah.
best way to get to us, but for your crowd and my boys as well, same thing. Everything's done on the phone. And one of the things I've noticed, and if people don't follow the banking industry, it's like an accordion about every 6 or 8 years, right? There's mergers, and then there's new banks, and then there's mergers, and there's currently the big one now with BB&T and SunTrust. I know
Yeah.
that South State is benefiting from some of that because you're kinda getting some of those people, you're probably gonna get some of those customers because 'cause they're just, I mean, I don't know how big when I start reading like $3 trillion in assets, I have no idea what that number means, but
Mhm.
I know it just means they're bigger, and I gotta believe that plays into to banks like yours.
Um, Definitely. I mean, we've had a lot of conversations around, that
Mhm.
merger. They're 2 large institutions,
Oh, yeah.
so, people don't like change.
No, they
So
don't, especially with their money.
so
Yeah.
it causes a lot of runoff. I think it's expected,
Mhm.
but yeah, we're definitely taking advantage of, people that are looking for a new bank and, um, not too happy with their current
Mhm.
bank. So yeah, plus I think there'll be a lot of, employment opportunities for those people.
I feel bad for a lot of the people that work at either one of those banks because they're not gonna be able to keep everybody. And I would assume that you guys probably have hired 1 or 2 already, and I'm sure a lot of other people are calling.
I, I can only imagine how many calls they
Oh,
get in
yeah.
a day. The recruitment probably started from the
The
start day
the
one.
minute it was announced, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, also heard, several, stories of walk off after the first, day or 2,
Yeah.
after they announced that, and some really good, talented and good, assets.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think they're probably gonna get picked up quick. So,
Oh, the HR offices for the small banks like yours, oh, their phone's gotta be
yeah.
ringing off the hook
And,
now.
we're in the growing spirit,
Mhm.
so as we, expand and grow, I think, we're obviously looking for people with good experience and such, so there's always opportunities for those.
Technology has changed almost every industry, and in the banking, now you can take a picture of your check and deposit those, which
Yeah.
is consumer friendly and fan friendly and all that, which is good. But what that does is because when I was in filling out all my paperwork and everything with you a couple months ago to start what I'm starting, there's hardly anybody in there. But I know you're doing business, but that's the kind of the trade-off, right? Is because back in here's the old guy, back in my day,
Yeah.
Amnon's day too, we had to go in the bank.
Yeah.
We didn't even have I don't know, Amnon, did we have the deposit? I don't even know if we could put a deposit, a night drop or something like that back in the '70s. Did we have that? Okay, right. Business is good, yeah. And there was no online banking because there was no online back then. But now it just has to be weird, um, just walking into a bank because usually we'd walk in, there'd be 6, 8, 10 people in line, and now, what do you see? 2, 3 at a time, probably?
Yeah, yeah, and of course, a lot of that does have to do with us still being new.
Mhm.
In a general sense, I think you're a little busier than what we are right now. But yeah, that traffic in the lobby has
Yeah.
really transitioned to all, several digital platforms right now. I mean, we've seen that, across the board, I think, in the banking industry in general, because it's a matter of convenience.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
which is what you
which is
should,
what
yeah.
but, also with us being, a retail,
Mhm.
driven bank and having a lot of, personal relationships, the phone still rings off the hook.
Oh, yeah.
You're never gonna change that because that's convenient as well, you know?
And I know you get questions that are not related to banking.
Eh
The book you could write without naming any names, but do a couple of questions and phone calls come to mind of people calling you to go, "Do you know a plumber?"
yeah, we are all things to all people.
Mhm.
We are, therapists and doctors and, teachers and babysitters, um, and so it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's new every day. So, um, we we have so many interesting, you know I've been with the bank for 14 years,
Mhm.
so, I really could write a book.
Mhm.
I had somebody actually, call me, and ask me what they should do about them finding a box of items that proved their wife was cheating on them. And I did my best,
Yeah.
as neutral as possible, considering, I knew both of them, you know.
Oh.
So there's your, and plus, we also have, customers that we really have good relationships with that we see through their whole life cycle. So,
Yeah.
when they pass away and they're very dear to us, we end up knowing their
Oh,
family
yeah.
and you know, um, we we go to their funerals
Mm.
and, we just those are the sad things, but, you develop a really strong relationship with the people that you're serving
Yeah, and you get to hear about their kids and grandkids and the
and
growth in their life
cheating
on that.
wives and
Cheating
all
wives.
that stuff.
I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that. Why would you Well, yeah, well, they knew you. But again, that's the beauty of the local banker. They knew they could trust you, and they
Mhm.
knew to call you. I don't know what you would tell people. So they're looking for a box
They
that he or
found the
she that
box.
the spouse they found the
They
box.
found the box, and it confirmed their suspicions of scandal. So, what
What
did they do?
what was in the box? And why are you
Listen.
keeping that if you're cheating?
Listen, I'm only gonna we can imagine what was in the box,
Wow,
you
yeah,
know?
but I don't know if you wanna keep that, but
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't I wouldn't want those memories. That memory box could go.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you had a question, Evan.
Yeah, I'm always amazed why we're talking about security in the bank.
Uh-huh.
Why banks don't allow you to use passwords that are really strong. Like they don't allow you to use the pound sign or the at sign. The main ingredient that makes a password strong. I mean, so you end up keeping it sort of like any dictionary can break.
Mhm.
Why? Any idea?
Now I believe we do allow special characters at right now. But I think that really has to do with whatever, um, platform that they're using and what their ability is in the program. Um, probably there's probably a small amount of programs that good large banks use for online banking systems and such. So they probably have their own restrictions, but that is a good question. I really don't know, but
Okay.
because we really do promote having pretty out there, crazy, strong, difficult, dynamic passwords. And I do believe, like I said, that we do allow special characters now, and maybe a lot are going towards that because as we progress into um, new, times, it becomes more important.
I know back in the day, when we signed up for a bank account, we'd get the 4-digit PIN code, and just again back to his point of like, okay, but back then we didn't think about it because I'm sure there were hackers, but
hmm
it wasn't like an industry today.
What do you mean back then? What are pin numbers right now? Still 4.
Still 4-digit PIN
Yeah.
That's
numbers.
9,999 possibilities.
hmm
I mean, somebody with a phone can probably
Yeah.
break it in no time. I mean, again, why not make it 6, 8, 10? I mean, let me do whatever I want.
hmm
I don't know. It makes no
I think
sense.
now we have like it has to be 8 at least to
Oh.
15
I think when I
characters,
signed online to open up my
You
account
got
with
the
you, it was
passwords and
Yeah.
such.
PIN number.
Oh,
You
PIN,
know, I
yeah.
don't know. I mean, I guarantee you though, it's coming because just in the last 5 years, you've seen such a change
Yeah.
in security
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff and privacy protection and
And
all
it's
that stuff.
probably has something to do with the short attention span of society today. Can't remember 8.
Yep. Right.
But yeah, that's what he does for a living. So it's a fair question. I guess we setting up some stuff here. He, my passcodes are not elaborate, and he sent me one day. He goes, "It should look like this." I'm like, I have to think of that to do that. Yeah, and again, you're not going to remember it with all the with all the punctuation points, and yeah, I couldn't remember all
It's a
that.
good
But
question, a good
yeah,
point.
yeah,
I don't know, but you know what? Maybe we should get on that, you
yeah.
know?
You'll report back next week.
I'll let you
We'll talk
know.
about that next week. So we
I'll find out.
yeah. We're here with Cherie Brown, the assistant branch manager at South State Bank on Falls and News. Please go see Cherie and the folks there at South State and help welcome them to the Triangle area. We're brought to you by Oak City Tech Partners. They will work with you to give you a competitive edge with web design and logo design. They'll increase your brand awareness and generate leads with SEO and social media. And they'll nurture and convert your leads with content creation and email marketing. You can go to oakcitytechnology.com. Tell Drago we said hi. Drago was on the show a while back, so he's a friend of the show. We're glad to have them as a title sponsor, and they are helping me do what I'm doing on speaking and business coaching. So I know they will take good care of you, and Drago has good stories as well. One of the neat things when I get to brag about BNI, which the show is a lot about, to bring wonderful stories like yours here, is to find out literally the first time you ever heard BNI. Where were you? Who was it?
So it was in Myrtle Beach, because I had a good friend, Crystal Boizo, who is also a uh, colleague, and we were grabbing coffee in the mall, and she went up to this lady to talk to her, and she's like, "This is lady from my BNI group,"
Okay.
and I had no clue what that
Raise your
was.
hand like the rest
Yeah,
of us.
like,
What is
oh
it?
yeah, oh that's cool. Yeah, that's a neat group.
Mhm.
You know, no idea what that was. But was in a similar type group called Networking in the Forest in Myrtle Beach as well. Um, so I understood the
Mm.
foundation of it once it kind of, um, she explained that it
Right.
was similar.
And one of the neat things for a banker like yourself in a BNI group is you can do commercial lines, you can do personal lines, house and all that stuff. So you're a wonderful resource for BNI. I know that, and I'm assuming it has helped your business.
I mean, definitely. We have, full service capacity for both personal and commercial banking. So if I can't do it, there is a resource in the bank that can. And, I can see that through from start to finish on referring it over and such. So a lot of small community banks don't have that ability. So we do have that. We do leverage that.
I like that because everybody, if you're in business, they don't have to have you, but I don't know how they could survive. You can't keep your money in a mattress anymore or underneath the mattress like they
Y-
did, or
Yeah.
like our grandmas did back in the good old days, or in the box or the flour. Yeah, the cookie
Or
jar. Yeah,
buried in the
up
yard.
on the second. Yeah.
I mean, you would be surprised at how many people still say they do
Oh,
that.
oh yeah. Do not like Big
Banks,
Brother,
just in
banks,
general.
technology, anything like that.
They don't trust the bank. We hear that so much.
But their stuff is insured up to what?
$250,000
Yeah,
per ownership. It's,
that'll cover most people
you can
walking the streets. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but it's not covered at all when it's in your mattress.
No. No, and there are other reasons why that money's in their mattress that they don't want others to find about. Speaking of hidden away boxes by spouses and everything. Because I would not know if my wife could have a bank account anywhere in the world and I would have no clue, just because I don't handle that part of our lives and she does, and I'm fine with that because I trust her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bet you guys get looks all the time. Oh, you're a banker.
When my grandma died, we were going through her things and we ended up finding that she had stored money underneath every single picture frame in the house,
Oh.
so there was money, different amounts in all the picture frames and all the little like nooks and crannies
Oh,
of the
yeah.
house. It was just literally, it could still be there to this day, some, little pieces of it that we never got to find, but yeah.
And I think a lot of that is Depression era people
Mhm.
where you didn't have a lot of money back then, but you certainly had to hold on to it and the banks were closing and all that stuff. So I bet there was a lot of money left at home back then. But that
Right.
generation was I don't have any, but I'm gonna keep what I have and nobody will know where it is. But that's funny.
Yeah.
So who found the first one? Then you just start go looking at all of them?
I
Just
think like my aunt or
yeah.
something, and then we started looking at all of them, and you know,
Oh,
then
yeah.
it was the who could get the picture frames the fastest at that point. Like,
It's like an Easter
finders
egg hunt, isn't
keepers
it?
were, this part wasn't included in the
Yeah.
inheritance,
It wasn't in the will,
It
right?
wasn't in the will.
Oh, so that was the rule. Whatever you found, you could
You
keep.
could well, if you didn't tell them, you
And who
just got
would?
the
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah, I've been looking for an hour, haven't found anything. So, but though, again, this show is built on stories, which I love. But those stories back in the day, because I have no concept what it's like. I didn't grow up with money, but I have no concept what it's like to grow up without money. And
Mhm.
for the people that survived all that and just having to go through that, I love hearing those stories from, I guess, people that would be my grandparents' age,
Mhm.
which I don't think are much living anymore. But yeah, I bet there was money stashed in all kinds of places.
I mean, it really was in the dirt. I can tell you that for sure because, you can smell the money that smells like dirt when it comes in the bank
Oh,
now
really?
sometimes. So these people really did bury it.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So it's really, I mean, we've heard stories of that being a thing from back in the day, but they're just digging it up now, kind of thing, because it
Oh,
still
man.
smells like the dirt.
Yeah, and we've talked about this. And last week we had Jeff Austin on, who's who's a lawyer, deals with family money and estates and wills and stuff like that. And money changes everything, doesn't it? It changed the way you guys were
Jeez.
looking at pictures in your grandmother's
It changes everything.
house. It
I
does.
mean, I mean, unfortunately, we also see a lot of things when it comes to, um, like elder abuse
Yeah.
and or, impersonation type things. And the motivation behind those things can astound you sometimes. It's just sad stories,
Yeah.
because like money makes the world go round.
Oh, you have to have it to accomplish
Can
many
change your
things.
character in
Yeah.
a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think I was talking with Jeff about this last week, or I was talking with somebody about that because we're talking, I guess the lottery's up to like 180 million. We're talking, I forget who I was talking about. And Mark Cuban, the Dallas Mavericks owner in the NBA, who's just wealthy, he created broadcast, I think it's broadcast.com that he started way back when and sold that. And that was kind of the genesis. He's on Shark Tank,
Mhm.
if you don't know who Mark Cuban is. And people ask him all the time about people that win the lottery and what should they do and just all that stuff. And he basically, his advice is, if you're an asshole when you're poor, you're going to be an asshole when you're rich. So it just really doesn't change your personality. You may give more money away, but if you're that way poor, you're going to be that way rich,
Yeah.
is what he tells people, which is hilarious and probably true.
True.
Probably true. Going back to doing the research on banking and everything, things to talk about. Speaking of money makes the world go round. The 9 largest banks in the U.S. control 49% of the assets in the country. No idea it was that big, but that will tell you. I think that's another reason to go to the smaller banks, which My wife and I banked that for years. I don't remember the last time. I think maybe when we were in Atlanta in early 90s, but I think since then we've been with smaller banks and just love it because you can walk in and you know who's who. And, I always like the bankers and the local insurance people and all that say, yeah, all my clients have my phone number. They can call.
Yeah. Because really, in reality, a bank is a bank.
Yeah.
It's not really necessarily about the products. It's about the delivery of them, and you're kind of you're getting people that are a little more connected to the areas that they serve.
Mhm.
So it's likely that they have um, a little bit more passion about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, but some people just want to be a turn and burn situation. So they don't really care. They care about the technology.
Mhm.
Can you give me what I need and move along? Those might be your rich ones because they probably pay a good pretty penny for all of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I hope to be that for you one day, one of your richer clients. And I'm going to work on that. One of the other neat things about having people on the show each week is, and we talked about this earlier, you brought that us, the connection to the community. And I know you are new to Raleigh, but you've been very heavily involved in United Way back in Myrtle Beach and in South Carolina.
Hmm.
And I know you enjoy that. I was involved with United Way in Daytona Beach when we lived down there, but that just continued to explain to people the type when they go visit a chapter or join a BNI chapter, the type of people they're going to meet. Not only are they here to help you grow their business, but they're entrenched in the community as well. I know. So tell me about some of the things you did with United Way down in South Carolina.
So we have SouthState has partnered with United Ways years. But personally, we get involved in their Day of Caring every year, the March of Dimes that they do, um, any of their whenever we have natural disasters, and they work with any of the American Red Cross and do some partnerships to try to regrow the devastation of the
Yeah.
community. Because in the recent years, we have been affected by floods and
Oh
hurricanes
yeah.
and storms in Myrtle Beach, where we had a good break for that for a while.
Mhm.
And in recent years, pretty consistently every year, we've had something that's been quite impactful to the area. So it's your groups like that that have local divisions that really kind of pour
Yeah.
into the community, as well as the chamber. And I'm a really big advocate for the chamber and as well, because I did Myrtle Beach Chamber, which also did a lot of stuff like that. I was an ambassador for them.
And then here, I know you're looking on I was stalking. I mean, I was researching you the other night. I wasn't stalking. It's the Raleigh Chamber and the North Raleigh Chamber, I think you're involved with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
North Raleigh Chamber and the Greater Raleigh Chamber, but they have different dynamics. So, personally, I like a community chamber better, which North Raleigh is, and
Yep.
it's a newer chamber, so there's still a lot of opportunity for them to kinda, like, grow some roots in their
And
area.
aren't some of the networking or some of the groups you're involved with, or I think in a nice way, they're saying no old people because they call it like younger bankers and stuff like that. But they don't want people like me there, right? Don't
Well,
they?
North Ra I surprisingly, North Raleigh being a new chamber, there's a lot of history,
Yeah, yeah.
there
Yeah.
and people, because those are the people that know people,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, that's who you need to get to know as well.
So,
Yeah.
the years and years and years of experience and, in circles of influence that these people
Mhm.
have, those are the ones you want. But, also, younger people, like
They can
myself.
they can stay out past 9 o'clock.
No, I'm not I'm not quite
Yeah.
I'm not too far past that, but, I think they bring a different attitude, a different
Yes.
vision,
Yeah.
and it's necessary to have the balance between the 2.
Oh, yeah. And you
You
have to.
know?
Yeah.
Without one, the other one is not, as completed, and
Yeah.
vice versa.
We help each other. Each group helps the other step out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because with my generation, it's not as technologically savvy as yours is. And
Not at all. Not,
don't go there. Don't go. It's just not nice. It's just not nice. I can stop the show anytime, just so you know that. I know I did. So, and then we can help your generation kind of, all right, hang on a sec. You still need to meet face to face. which is, and that's one of the things with society, with technology today, is my fear is nobody wants to meet anymore. They just FaceTime or text or anything like that. So
I say back in my day,
here we
even,
go.
and I'm very
2011, yeah.
young. But back in my day, when I started in banking, it was a 180 as well. I
Oh,
mean, um, you did not text for business purposes in any way, shape, or form. You did
no.
not do that. That was very inappropriate. You did not go to uh, grab a drink with a prospect, or you didn't look for opportunities in environments that were not considered professional, as far as like
Oh, yeah.
no restaurant, no bar, no,
Mhm,
but this day and age, I mean, like, I get a text every single day, and it's convenient, it's fast, and we can just coordinate. Now,
mhm.
granted, I still don't encourage anyone to use texting to talk about
No,
privacy
no.
things. So that's not, just be cognizant. We talked about security, but just for, like, quick connection or
I've done that with you.
questions,
When I was
or
opening my stuff up, I had a couple questions and I knew they were easy yes, no textable ones, and I texted you, which was the beauty of having a local banker.
and
Yep.
now, I mean, you don't even think anything of it. You're like, you say that,
Yeah.
text me, call me, whatever you want. So times are changing fast.
Oh, very much so. For the people watching and listening that are either have a small business or getting ready to start a small business, they need you.
They do need
They
me.
do. So what things, if somebody's getting ready to start a small business from a banking standpoint and a structural setup, what kind of things do they need to think about and do?
Well, obviously, you need to have a business bank account. That's
Mm.
crucial to um, a lot of different things in your business, especially when it comes to, like, keeping tax things straight, which, I'm not a tax professional, but
But you have
that's
one to
that,
refer them to,
yeah, I
right?
do. Ryan.
Mhm.
So you need a business bank account, but also, for us to be able to do that, you need to have established yourself as a business. So we need,
Mhm.
whatever registration that's required for your specific type of business, such as, your articles of organization or incorporation, depending on the type of business that you choose to be structured as. A business license, if your business requires that, and a EIN number from the IRS. That's
Mhm.
really important as well.
I had to do all that.
Um,
Yep.
and it's pretty simple to get it done. So we're always happy to help guide you through that process, refer you to the right people, and then take care of your finance side, getting that set up and getting you on your merry way. We actually have a full line of um, digital products
Mhm.
for from the smallest business to an extremely large business that's pretty customizable. So a bank is very important in the
And if
process.
they need some capital to get something going, you can talk
We can
about
do
them as well.
loans. Exactly.
We are here with Cherie Brown, Assistant Branch Manager at SouthState Bank. The location is on Falls and Noose. And our show, Triangle BNI, is brought to you by Oak City Tech. They will power your goals with proven technologies for increasing traffic, leads, and sales. And if you need any kind of digital footprint or anything like we've just been talking about, you'll need to go give Drago a call. Go on the website, oakcitytechnology.com, and they will help you out. Now that you know what you know with BNI, you've been a lifelong member for 4 months now. You were
Yes,
was
I'm a
I
veteran.
a little bit ahead of you in this chapter? You were already
I was in, but
you were already in.
in this
But
specific
yeah,
chapter, yes,
yeah.
you're leaps and bounds ahead of me, but
Well, I'm legendary in many ways,
yeah.
but that wasn't really the question. Yeah. What have you learned? You're in, because you have to network as a banker. You've been going to all these chamber events and everything we talked about. But what have you learned that BNI gives you to help you grow the goals you have to meet as assistant branch manager for a bank?
Um, I think BNI really drills down the personalized side of networking. Going to events and meeting a broad spectrum of people that you're touch and go, you can build certain relationships, and that's based on a personality and not necessarily a profession per se. But in BNI, there's one person seat per profession, and so you get to have a personal relationship with each and every one of them, like it or not, because you're consistently seeing the same group of people on a regular basis. And you're learning a little bit, you're learning in more depth of what they really do and learning to value what they really do. Plus, I think it gives you the Rolodex in your mind
Oh, yeah.
about these people. Whereas if I connected in a fast, environment, it would not be something that would probably enter my mind. Like, I don't consider you build friendships
Oh,
with
yeah.
these people, and I think that changes the game.
It does. And then you're a hero to your clients because you know a CPA, you know a financial advisor, you know a printer, you know whatever sign person like Scott Sams, who was on a couple weeks ago. You know all that, so you become the hero to them.
Exactly. And then they become the hero to you too.
There you go. There you
So
go. In a normal day, how often are you in the bank, in your office versus out and about, networking, meeting people, growing your business?
and I try to be in the bank every day. So I'm there every day for the most part, but not all day.
Right.
So I would say probably 4 days out of the week I'm out. At the least, I'd say. Um I try to um be connecting constantly. So I'm in and out a lot, but every day I'm there. Um
Have you found a couple of good networking events that you now have on your calendar that work out well for you? Because I know there's a ton.
yes, yeah, and from BNI.
Mhm.
So from my chapter, we have Trinity Greger that we talked about
Mhm.
earlier. Shout out Trinity with
With
Hunter
Hunter Rowe,
Rowe.
yep, for wine and
And
wisdom.
for Wine and Wisdom, which
We get a lot
is
of both at the
awesome.
wine and wisdom event.
Yeah,
So
we
yes,
get a lot,
we do.
right?
Yep.
And Alicia
Cadornago with
Cadornaga with Boss
Boss.
Digital. She does Who's the Boss event, which it was and has been an
Good
awesome
one.
event. I've always had a lot of good connections out of that, as well as the North Raleigh Chamber. I try. They don't do as many events as they grow, but I try to work on, get involved in like ribbon cuttings. You can welcome new people to your area, um, and so those have been pretty good ones.
Do
And
you, when you first started with SouthState, that was not the name of the bank.
no,
What was it?
it was First Federal when I started.
Do you remember the first account you ever opened for someone?
Yes, I sure do.
I like to laugh. Do tell.
I had no clue what I was doing. I'm sorry to that person, he was not happy about it
Oh,
either.
really?
Oh my God, he yelled he told me he was gonna get me he was gonna have my job and all this stuff because I had no clue what I was doing. So by the end of it, I was crying,
Oh,
like,
no.
but needless to say, like, I got through it built my backbone that
Yeah.
started,
You
yeah,
can
so I
blame your
can't
boss for not
forget that.
training you right.
No clue what I was doing. It was probably a mixture of nerves and, he came in with a really it was actually a IRA account. So, it's one of those accounts that they don't go dive into that much depth when I first started, because it's complicated.
Yeah.
It's one of the and it was implied that you were gonna need help anyway when that comes in.
Yeah.
So whether we really train you or not, you're gonna need to call us. And I was like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
So I said, "No, I got this." And I didn't.
When did you know that this line of work is what you were gonna enjoy and be good at and want to, stay with?
Oh, I think I found that pretty early, just, I would say probably a year in because um, I think I took advantage of all the opportunities I was given. Started to kind of grow in the company a little bit or be talked to about, growth
Mhm.
and opportunities. And so it really felt like I was being invested in. Um, but I love to talk to people. I love to problem solve.
Mhm.
So I guess that's where the science side
'Cause
of my
sometimes we
mind
think
comes
we know
into
what we're
play.
doing and we're like, "No, you need it would be better done this way or more efficient," correct?
Yeah, and I'm an outside the box thinker
Yep.
very much, try to be really innovative. So, um, when I could bring things to the table that I didn't always see, I kind of thought I had some value, and so I, became motivated to continue and to try to be part of the process.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I don't know why I'm passionate about banking, but I am. We don't know sometimes why we just really take to something because people don't find banking that interesting, but I mean, I do. It's a really fun job.
And we talked about this earlier, just the evolution of the industry. Back in the day, it was I walk in, you're sitting behind your desk, we do the transaction, we may talk, we may not, and then we're done. And usually with bankers, you always think numbers people. They're the accounting geeks, all that stuff, and they love this. But now you're as much a marketer as anything, aren't you?
I 100%. I mean, um, we're the face
Mhm.
of the bank. I mean, I think that being well, when I was the teller as well, like, and to this day, we still really refer to tellers being the most important job in the whole bank because they are the face of the bank.
Oh, yeah.
So, they're the people that can make or break your business. So it's really important to really invest in your people and your employees, and so I love that the bank backs up what they say. I can go out and talk about it, and I have proof,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
have, a lot of things to, bring to the table. So, yeah, marketing is huge.
Yeah,
Like
it
I
is.
said,
Yeah.
I can't I'm not even in the office every day, any day really. So, or all day, any day.
Yeah.
So, um it just goes to tell you there that it's a really important part of the job.
Oh, yeah, be building a relationship with
Mhm.
everybody. We thank you for being on the show
Thank
today.
you for having
Good
me.
luck with everything. If you will go to South State Bank on Falls and News, ask for Cherie, go open your new account there. And if you speak any Spanish, please walk in speaking Spanish so Cherie can get back to building up her fluency in Spanish. But please go talk to her for a couple reasons. She'll take great care of you. And local banks are wonderful things. And we will see you next week on Triangle BNI, brought to you by Oak City Tech.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.